Welcome back to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm Scott Traylor. He's Kirk Elliott. We are the RacinBoys. And joining us now is the 62nd annual Knoxville Nationals winner. He led all 50 laps up there at Knoxville this year. Congratulations, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was definitely great to win another Knoxville Nationals. So, yeah, it's been a really, really good year in the sprint car, and cool to kind of close out the big races with the Knoxville Nationals win.
I've got to say this. I always respect Paul Silva and the approach that he has with your sprint car. He is one of the best in the business, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in my opinion, obviously, I think he is the best. So,
right.
No, he does things his own way, and I think a lot of people assume we have this unlimited budget because it's me driving the car and all that. But he definitely stretches a dollar for sure. We basically all year we've been running Donnie Schatz's used tires, and that's just kind of what Paul does. He just saves money wherever possible, but without taking anything away from making our program as good as it can be. So
yeah,
no, it's I really love racing for him and love doing it the way that he does it without the big fancy truck and trailer and all of that. So
right.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun, and when you're winning races, it makes everything more fun.
I had a chance to meet Paul Silva when he was with Shane Stewart in 09 and 11 when they won the championship with the ASCS National Sprint Car Tour. And he's such a quality guy, man. He's just as good a person as anybody could ask for. I just think that he's just the best person, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, he's great. I joke with him all the time because he's getting softer, I feel like, with age. So he used to be this super intense, scary guy and all that. But I feel like since the last few years, and then getting married and all that, he's got a heart now. So
right.
it's fun to poke at him a little bit and all that. But he is a great person, and yeah, I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by great people, and he's one of those great people.
Hey, Kyle, congratulations on your Knoxville Nationals win. How much of the general public do you think really understands how difficult this is for you to go out and race sprint cars at the highest level and win? You don't do it all the time, and the competition level you're going up against, then going back to your day job of NASCAR, do you think a large portion of the public really understands how difficult that is?
I don't know. I'm not really sure how to answer that because I don't know what the public thinks, but I'm sure there's some that know how tough it is, and there's some non-traditional sprint car fans that think I'm going and going down a series, but that's really not the case. So it is great that we can race as little as we do, and Paul does a great job of keeping our setups up to date and competitive, and we probably only race like 20 times a year, compared to the outlaw guys who are running 80 to 90 times. So it's definitely something that I think we're both proud of, that we can be as competitive as we are without doing it as often as others. So, but I think we race just enough, to be able to stay competitive. So, this has definitely been a really solid season for us. So, and I think maybe the new tire probably helped out some as well. I think just everybody was kind of throwing a curveball in the beginning of the year, so it didn't help others get kind of stretched out in front of us.
Next year, you're going to be driving an Indy car at the Indianapolis 500. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm for sure looking forward to doing the double. It's going to be just a dream of mine to compete in both races, and finally, becoming a reality is going to be amazing. So, yeah, I'm with a great team as well with Arrow McLaren, and having Rick Hendrick a part of it, and HendrickCars.com on it is just is amazing. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I think it's going to be a great experience no matter what the result ends up being, and hopefully, though, the results are good at both races.
Hey, let me ask you this. You mentioned the tire. Was your tire slicked off when you came in for the halfway break up at Knoxville?
No, ours was really good. Paul was actually contemplating and just keeping the same tires on it because they looked good. So, yeah, I mean, I noticed where, like, gravels were bald, or at least on the camera they looked bald, which was really surprising to me because there was the track wasn't abrasive at that point. It hadn't taken rubber. So I did think that was odd to see, his tire was worn. I know he came from the back, but it's still not an abrasive surface.
Yeah, no doubt. You've got one win at Kansas Speedway. Talk about that win. And I know this year that was a bummer that your car was really loose at the end of the race at this year, and you got a little bit sideways a little bit, and it looked like that Denny Hamlin just kind of bumped you out of the way. So what were your thoughts about that race?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was unfortunate that we didn't win on that one, just because he was much faster and all that. But I mean, I would have loved to have been able to race into turn 3.
Really, one of the better 1.5 mile tracks because you can race from top to the bottom and everywhere in between. What do you think about Kansas Speedway?
Yeah, no, I like Kansas a lot. I think it's for being a fairly new repave.
Before we see it, Kansas Speedway this weekend, Darlington Raceway. That's been a really good racetrack, but yet to check off the Southern 500 off your list. You become close a couple of times. How do you see this weekend?
Yeah, no, it's a great track for us. Just I don't know, man. We have been so close to winning there. Even my Ganassi days, leading tons of laps there. Just things happen at the end. Mistakes on my part or pit road or whatever, and we ended up not winning. So hopefully this week's different. I think our team is well prepared for that racetrack, and hopefully we can just execute from start to finish and try and get that first Darlington win.
Hey, I got to ask you about your donuts after the wreck this weekend. You were sitting out there doing a bunch of donuts. Tell us what was going on there. Were you trying to get the tow truck over there to get a hold of you and get you into the pits?
At first, I was just trying to get some momentum going to where maybe I could get going straight and drive the pit road and get to my pit stall so I didn't lose another lap. But once I realized I couldn't, it was just kind of a mess. You're kind of just stuck there, and nobody comes over to the car to communicate with you on what you need. So, the tow truck, I think, is coming to tow me, and then it gets behind me, and now we're in a red flag, so they're not doing anything. And again, nobody will come to my car. So then I decided I would just fire up, and I knew I could spin a half donut and spun a half donut around and waved to them to come to me so I could talk to them. And finally they did, and decided to hook up to the nose of the car, which you wanted, and then tow us to pit road once the yellow flag came out. So yeah, it's a frustrating process, but it was. I wasn't trying to put on a show. I was just trying to get people's attention, I guess.
Right. A final question. I've got to ask you. You picked up 2 wins this year. Are you a little disappointed with only having 2 wins this year?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit because the way we start off the year, I thought we were going to have a lot of wins, but we have challenged for a lot of them. Just have had some things happen where we didn't get it, but we do have the All-Star win, so that's great. So I mean, technically we have 3, and one of those being a really big race. So it hasn't been terrible, but there's been a lot of
Yeah, Kyle, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us here on Track Talk. We appreciate it. Have a good one out at Kansas Speedway. We'll see you out there here in a couple weeks. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. There you have it. That's Kyle Larson. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more of Track Talk right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.